Dr. Boshielo is taking her seat, and Honorable Breytenbach is getting herself ready. It's now time, Honorable Breytenbach. You can start. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Honourable Deputy Minister, I was quite relieved to hear from you earlier that despite you having no delegated tasks, you have managed to keep yourself busy. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so, you know, when your fellow deputy was here the other day, Mr. Matale, he was unable to tell us what his day looked like and what precisely it is that he does. It doesn't appear as if he does much. So can you tell me, what does your day look like? What is the day in the life of Deputy Minister Boshielo, generally speaking? You flatter me enormously, Deputy Minister, if you think I can see that far. Just read me one day, any day, pick one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but that sounds like a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions, and a lot of appearances at Parliament.
No, that's why I said, I gave 2 examples. I said I went to KwaZulu, Mpumalanga. When you go there to do the imbizo, you first go to the chief. It's our culture. You go to the chief, and then the chief will then tell you the problems, because we respect them as our traditional leaders. That's how he is. And then thereafter, he will then say his concerns, because he said he had the guns, you know, at night. It seems the guns are there. And then when you finish, you then go and meet the police in that area, all of them, because you will be with the PC Mukwanazi, Dr. Mukwanazi, not the KwaZulu, Dr. Mukwanazi, F. Mukwanazi, and his management. And then we meet with all police officers and then raise some of the issues that the chief would have said at that time. And then we said, because I would have promised the chief that I will investigate and come back to give you a feedback. And then thereafter, this one is just for control and to win the trust of the community. We will normally have the police band and then ourselves marching with the police, you know, and then you see people dancing there. You're just trying to say we are normal human beings, and then as we go on. Then we went to the taxi rank. We met the taxi associations, and then they explained to us how they are working. I was impressed because they were showing me that they've done sort of like chairs for old people and then women with young children. And then after that, I spoke to the passengers and then gave them pamphlet on safer communities and also on GBV. And then when we're done, we went to the main stadium where we had the imbizo. In the imbizo, we don't talk. I don't talk. The provincial commissioner, Dr. Zef Mukwanazi, will then address the community. They were full. And then he said, anybody can say. And I said to them, don't give a limit to, they might use the language that they are comfortable with. Don't confine them to a language where they are not able to express themselves. And then thereafter, by that time, I will be with the minister, the MEC of safety in the area, in Mpumalanga, MEC Jeki, and then also the executive mayor or the mayor from that area. Then people will come one by one, and then they will ask, complain that the police take the bribes. When I went there, they didn't what and do what and whatever. We know them, all of them. And then even when they come, you know our people, when they see you, even if they've asked questions, they will still want to ask because it's the deputy minister is there and the MEC. And then thereafter, the local ones, the mayor will do in the language that they understand. And then the provincial one will
Thank you.
do.
I get the idea. Thank you. I don't mean to interrupt you, but there's a time limit. So you interact with people, you find out what the issues are that people on the ground are struggling with. Tell me about implementation.
In terms of the implementations, because that's what I'm saying, when I go there, I don't go there alone. I go with the mayor, I go with the MEC, I go with the provincial commissioner, of course, with the management. When we finish, I would expect the provincial commissioner, because that's the one I would have control over, to say, Dr. Mukanazi, can I...
You can carry on. Don't worry about these people. Carry on.
I would say, Dr. Mkwanazi, I would expect a report in 2 months' time. And then he'll bring it through the national commissioner to say, in terms of this one which they raise, this is what we do. In terms of this one, this is what they do. And also that day, what really impressed me was that we also had the gift of the givers. I think they also operate in the area because we had all the stakeholders.
So this isn't a publicity stunt for gift of the givers. Can you just
no. Then I said in a
Deputy
month.
Minister, no, just a moment. I want you to answer my questions, please. So listen carefully to the question. It's a problem that most politicians seem to have. They don't listen to the question and they give any answer they feel like, forever. I want to know about implementation. You mentioned a couple of things. Did you do anything about the implementation there, Ron?
Yes.
So what?
Yes, I did.
Tell me.
I went back to the chief. The chief was worried about the security and he was worried about the guns that were going in there. And then we were able to increase the number of police there. And then he even said to me that he's satisfied with how we have dealt with the issue.
Thank you. I presume you could do the same sort of thing here in the Cape Flats, where people are being mowed down daily. Send more policemen and reduce the amount of guns. Any plans to do that?
I've been, actually, we were sworn in on the 2nd of July. On the 4th of July, we were at Hanover. And I was chairing the public hearing there. And we had the police over this side, and we had the communities over this side. And the community were saying to us, we don't trust this police, they are not doing their work. And then we're able to. And from there, yes, I've been to the Cape Flats, to Guguletu, to Samora, to Atlantics, and everything. We have a special operations that we want to do. I will not be able to disclose it here, but we have a special operation.
I wouldn't expect you to disclose it. I'm interested in implementation. So you have a plan, you're going to implement.
We will implement it, including, remember we signed the memorandum of cooperation with the city and the province, so all of us will be doing that.
We'll be watching. Are you aware, Deputy Minister, of any occasion where the minister, the suspended minister now, Mr. Nkunu, interfered in the operational issues of the South African police? Any at all occasion, in your view?
I would prefer that you be specific so that I can just be able to answer.
I think the question is reasonably specific, Deputy Minister. Are you aware of any occasion at all that you hold personal knowledge of that the suspended minister, Minister Nkunu, has interfered in the operational issues of the South African police?
I'm not aware.
How long have you been the Deputy Minister of Police?
From the 2nd of July, 2024.
And yet the minister is yet to delegate any functions to you?
Ma'am.
Have you discussed this with him?
I have
on how many occasions?
More than 3 occasions.
More than 3?
Yes, ma'am.
He's a difficult man. He doesn't listen.
Comment on that, ma'am.
Have you told him that you're unhappy about it?
Yes.
And still he doesn't listen?
No comment on that one, ma'am.
Well, no.
Dr. Boshielo, you must not have a problem of using the title honorable member.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sorry, Chairperson. I really apologize.
Deputy Minister, you really don't have to call me honourable, I promise you. It's not an issue for me. I functioned for all my life without being called honourable. I'll function some more.
I'm directed by the chair. I must take instruction from the chair.
No, you actually don't have to. Has Minister Nkunu ever discussed the national policing policy with you and consulted the provincial governments in your presence, taken you along, talked to you about how you're going to implement those things? Have you had those discussions?
Not yet, but we took the national policing policy to the province. We started at the MINMEC, and then we took it to the province, and then it went to the cabinet. It was approved, and I think it was approved about 2 months ago before he was told to take leave. Thank you.
So it's taken this long to get that far?
Yes, apparently.
Thanks, Chair. I've got no further questions.
Thank you, Honourable Breytenbach.
Thank you so much, honorable members. That was so quick. Honorable Mathys, do you want to speak?
Okay.
Yeah? It's, your time is going to start.
You don't have to start it. You can start it like in 10 minutes.
Your
I'm
time
not
is going
opposed
to
that.
start at, listen, at 8 minutes to 2,
Let's go.
and will end at 12 past 14 hours.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Dr. Deputy Minister, I like saying doctor since we have a whole 31 qualifications to our name. Well done, we're proud. Dr. DM, you spoke about your experience in China. So let's talk about their technology there. So we agree that they have a large amount of resources. They've got decent state-owned buildings, their transport facilities, and there's a very, very minute role of private security companies in policing and security. And what has come out in these, in our hearings is that there's a huge takeover of private security companies. Talk to us about that. Not too much time because this chairperson is going to cut me off very quickly, please. Yeah, just speak to us, please, DM, just about what you have observed about security companies taking over the functionings of SAPs.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I fully agree with you that, yes, they depend more on technology and on other issues, not even having more police on the ground. And in terms of private security, I agree with you. We have started discussions in terms of SIRA to say, what is the role of SIRA and why do we have so many companies as private companies, also in terms of the ammunition that they have, and others don't even have qualified things, but they get the certificate, like the one in Mpumalanga.
So is that something that we need to consider here as a committee as looking into SIRA and also the number of licenses that are issued to security companies as well?
Yes.
Noted. Let's talk a little bit. I know we are exhausting this issue of the disbandment. The minister said that he had a meeting with his 2 deputy ministers. And it's very unclear about, during this meeting with the 3 of you, was the discussion very clear that we are moving to disband the PKTT?
No. Thank you.
So was the discussion more around the issue of that we are going to move and we're going to empower, I think is the better word, or, put more resources into the murder and robbery unit. So there was never a discussion at all when the 3 of you met. I think he said it was in November, if I'm not mistaken. And that all 3 of you were in agreement that we are moving to disband, not the how and not the when, but that the PKTT must be disbanded?
As I said, no. We did not talk specifically that the KK must be disbanded. But yes, we spoke about empowering the murder and robbery unit and saying maybe the skills that are there, because it's a multifaceted team, can be used to be able to assist us in that regard, in terms of even coming with an organogram that could take care of all these murders from the national level.
So why do you think the minister was beating around the bush instead of just dealing with this issue straight? Because clearly he wanted to disband it. And during his entire testimony here, he just kept going back to, we are going to well-resource the murder and robbery unit. And by doing that, automatically it meant the PKTT is going to be disbanded. Why is it a touchy subject? Or why do you think it was a touchy subject just to deal straight on as this is a unit, it's been operating, and it's one of the units that needs to go?
I wish I knew. I don't know.
But you're also a senior member, both in a political party and in government. DM, you have to have an opinion about what was going on. Or even your suspicions. This is the opportunity for us to also know. And we understand that it's your take. But you are there. You were part of, not part of the process in the sense that you made a decision. But you were there. There were engagements that were being done. You talk to each other, whether it's the DM or with the generals or with each other. It can't be that you just had no idea.
I'm like saying, you asked me how did he, I don't know what prompted him. And I said in my response here, I said, if I have been given an opportunity before the letter was out, I would have put my input there. Unfortunately, even if I can want to give you all the whole thesis about it, there were letters out already.
But doesn't mean that you didn't have an opinion about it. So we're not saying, what we're trying to establish here as a committee, as you know, Dr. DM, is why, so we can avoid these things from happening again. So we know that you can't do anything about it. It's a done deal. But also speak to us. There was something. And then maybe also just quickly, just also speak to, do you recall the date and time? Because you don't indicate that in your statement when the minister actually called you to say, DM, that letter is, it's not fake.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I would not want to, remember I'm under oath. And it was like December, January, early January, as I said. And I think we're even here in Cape Town preparing for that. So just to be safe, I would not want to lie.
Okay. But it was more or less, it made its rounds in social media on the 2nd of January.
I think it was around 5, 6, 7, around there.
So you spoke about the 8th January, where the South African Police Headquarters attends the ANC January 8th events. Did you engage the minister at the January 8th at all?
He did not attend that January 8th.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. We didn't know about that. Let's talk about, did you know about the arrest of Lieutenant General Kamalo?
Yes. We were with him a day before. We were presenting the report to the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence.
Why do you think that General Sabia forwarded the message to you?
As I said, I did not. I just took it straight to the National Commissioner.
The question is, why do you think he would have sent it to you? Because he didn't.
I would know. I want to know. But what I get from the message that he wrote, not the forwarded one, I think he was trying to warn me that they are going to back my phones and my emails and what.
And I think this comes back to the question about when we spoke about factions that are operating in the South African Police Service. So there's one thing when we disagree with each other. There's a whole other thing when certain groupings start acting on their disagreements, such as the thing of bugging. Former Minister Becky Cele also said that his phone was, it was intentionally bugged, but it was done in an illegal way as well. So is this a normal practice then, SAPS? Because this is why our country is unsafe. Because we have the executive, we have the top SAPS officials busy bugging each other's phones, listening to each other's messages instead of saving our children from being raped at school.
I would not say that, but as I said, with the skills that I have and with what I've seen can assist us in terms of dealing with those, I think we'll be able to stop some of the things that we are saying.
So you weren't surprised that they could be bugging your emails and your phone?
No, I don't have anything to hide, Honorable Member.
But that's not the point, Dr. DM. It's the fact that it's illegal. And at the highest level of our South African police service, we are having people operating like that. What hope is there for the ordinary South African on the ground when they're just doing it there on the top? It means that we don't have a justice system here in the country, and it starts with the South African police service.
I'm telling you what I have done to be able to deal with the issue. I've said that I took a team as per the minister's directive. We went to China. We were shown what technologies are there. I told you from the DCPI. I told you from the CI. I told you from the border, and also TMS, Technology Management Services, and also our representative in China. And then we went to see that one of them was the issue of parking, and the other one, which came because of the unrest of the 21st of July, from the report that we need to have a technology that can be able to deal with the social media and see what is going on and all those kind of things. So we're very pointed and specific what kind of technology did we do. And then when we came back, as I said, we presented the matter to the minister, but also to the JCPS cluster. And the good thing was that the Minister of Finance was in the JCPS, because that day they had the caravan meeting. So we're able to say we would need a lot of money to be able to deal with the technology. And I'm driving that because I know what to do and what needs to be done. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. DM, I wasn't really addressing that, and I'm glad at least we've been informed about what technology we have in. But this is a really big issue, that people's phones can just be tapped at every level. And if we have the approach of, I have nothing to hide, so what? It's not, if it starts with you and you can have that approach, there's no hope for ordinary citizens. And you've been voted by the people to protect them and to protect their interests. And I think we just need to be more conscious of that. And not just you as a deputy minister, but all of us as members of parliament, that we don't allow such illegal activities to continue in the highest offices of our South African police service.
I fully agree with you.
As that. So tell me, how does the ANC head of security enter in this?
I would not know. That's why I didn't.
Did you not ask General Sabir about... Was it General Sabir that told you that he's briefed the head of ANC?
The forwarded message, yes.
Yeah, but you see, this is also political interference as well. So do you know whether this is common practice for a Deputy National Commissioner to be picking up the phone and calling ANC
I don't know.
NEC members? But you're also an NEC member. Have you ever been briefed?
No, I'm a deputy minister to him. I don't know him. Outside that, I'm a deputy minister, and he's the deputy national commissioner to me.
No, but I'm talking about as in the ANC head of security.
No.
So your experience as an ANC member, and you've been served in the executive, I'm assuming both in the province and on a national level, is it common for government officials to be briefing ANC members about what's going on, especially on intelligence issues?
I'm not aware.
Thank you. Let's talk about this deputy ministers, and not just, obviously not police in particular, but just the whole concept of us having deputy ministers. So the issue of deputy ministers, it only found its way, I don't know if you know this, but our research office did some research on this. So deputy ministers were introduced in 1961 by the Apartheid National Party. And they did so because they were preparing or making way for ministers. As a senior leader of the ANC, what informs the ANC, because if you have those discussions, what informs the ANC positions, or position rather, to have deputy ministers? Because it's costing us, your ministry program, it's costing us 63.3 million, and a whole year later, you haven't been designated a function. It's a problem, Dr. DM.
Honorable Member, are you not conflicting the two, because there's an ANC as a party, there's government, and the two are not the same. They're not the same. So, so in terms of government, me and you are members of parliament, and we know that deputy ministers are mentioned in the constitution, and we know the process that we must undergo in order to be able to remove them.
But nothing stops the ANC from bringing a bill or for us to amend it, because there are political parties, particularly the EFF, that has been calling for the deputy ministers to be removed. So I'm just asking, do you know what informs the ANC position of maintaining deputy ministers? Because there's a lot of things that are in the constitution that's changeable or amendable, rather, including the expropriation of land without compensation.
As I said to you, Honorable Member, is the prerogative in terms of the constitution of the president and not the president of the ANC. Maybe we can discuss with the chief whip of the ANC.
No,
but in terms of government,
I'm just asking for
is the president, the constitution is very clear, is the president who appoint the deputy ministers, not the president of the ANC.
So the question was, Dr. DM, is that do you know what informs the ANC position to maintain deputy ministers? And you're saying you don't know, so that's fine. Let's talk about the New Year's Eve letter. The letter also included the issue of the ports of entry. So I just want to talk about that a little. Are you aware of the IMC on border control that's headed by, I think, the Minister of Home Affairs? You are?
I'm aware,
yeah,
yes.
So because you said that the minister, and maybe you'll correct me if I'm wrong, the issue that he raised in his letter, it was a legitimate concern, or did I mishear you?
Remember, the BMA was recently established, and there are still some members of SAPS who are working in the BMA. And we said we would not take them until they have the capacity to replace that, because we also need them to really work for us. So that's where it comes in.
And the reason I was asking whether you're aware of the IMC for border control is and it's linked to you saying that him raising the issue of getting a proper strategy on dealing with the borders. It was a legitimate concern. So I wanted to ask, or we wanted to ask, don't you think if the minister was attending those meetings, that was the platform to raise it? Because it's a it's an inter-ministerial committee that works with Home Affairs, because SAPS doesn't work in isolation on the borders. It includes finance, SARS in particular, Home Affairs, etc. So I just wanted your take on that.
If you ask me, the JCPS would have been the correct one.
Okay. And then there's been a lot said about Professor Mary Diaz here. We even got a nickname for her called Auntie Mary. Do you know her? I'm sure you've heard of her. Do you have any type of not relationship, but have you engaged her on any level?
I've not engaged them. I know I've engaged with ISS, Dr. Boshielo, who unfortunately, after we had the summit of the police, he died through accident, I think 2 days after the summit.
Okay, so you've had no engagement with her. Did the minister ever ask you for your opinion about her? Because his testimony or his statement here was quite lengthy on the complaints that she had sent. Were you aware of any of those complaints?
No, I did not. I actually heard it when the minister said it, and also There was another one, Patricia,
Yeah,
Masha. Yeah, no, I don't know them.
and you have never engaged
No,
with them.
no.
They're very active on social media, says Patricia as well. You haven't seen any of her at all. I think I'm done, Chair. One more thing, though, Dr. DM. Have you had any type of engagements with Kat Maklala, any whatsoever?
Your time is up, Honorable.
I don't even know that person.
And Brown Mokhosi? Mokhosi.
Can
No,
we
thank-
move to Honorable Mngango?
Okay, Chair, I'm done. Record time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pangazita. Or would you want us to give you some time to organize yourself? We read your apology earlier
I will
on.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Let me take Honorable Sauls. And Honorable James, today, by the way, Mngango has arrived. Okay. Your time ends at 26 minutes to, at 24 minutes past 2.
Thank you, Chair. Doctor.
No, 26 minutes to 15 hours. It's 20 minutes. It's now 14 minutes past 2.
Thank
You
you,
may
Chair.
proceed.
Doctor, good morning. Is it afternoon? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, honorable member.
Doctor, you testified that the minister and the national commissioner had some issues that affected the work of SAPS, and you were concerned about it, you and others. What made you think that they have issues?
Remember, we are working together as a team. And as we work together, of course, we'll have different leadership skills, and different thinking. And there would be that platform where we might want to differ on one thing or another, which is a normal thing. But we saw that the minister and the national commissioner were normally writing letters where we should be discussing on an issue and be dealing with it. So we asked them and said, in order for us not, when you write a person a letter, it's like you are starting a, disciplinary file. You are not necessarily discussing to be able to come with a solution to an issue. So that is why we asked them to say, we don't want to fight over something we don't know, let's just talk among yourself. And also we observed that there is no good relationship between Lieutenant Mukwanazi and the DNC Sibia. If you can sort it out, we'll be very happy.
You also said that not only between General Mukwanazi and General Sibia, but also you noticed issues between the National Commissioner and General Sibia. Now, before the meeting that you all suggested they should have to iron out these issues, could you, when you assess at that time these concerning matters, if you had to now tell us if there were to be sides, who will be on whose side?
As I said earlier, I was I'm a leader in my own right, but also in terms of responsibility. So when you see conflict, you should be able to come out with a solution so that we all pull in the same direction to achieve the same goal. So there's no way in which I can say this side and not this side. All of us, we don't have to like each other. Like we work in the National Assembly, we've got opposition leaders and everybody, and we work with each other in the portfolio committees. We work with each other. Not to say you are from the same party. We hug each other, we eat with together, and everything. And even when we differ on fundamental sometimes issues, we do that. So as a leader, for me, It was not to say whose faction is what and what. If we saw like there is this relationship that is not good, then we raised it to say, can we deal with this issue directly? Thank you.
You know, Doc, when I listen to you, is what you're explaining is your position was that what you were seeing, the divisions you were seeing, you were seeking to address that, to say this is wrong. We should work as a team because you spotted divisions, correct?
Yes, honorable member.
Now, what you've described is indeed the ideal situation. But the reason why you thought about it is because of those divisions that you saw. So now that there's a divide, that means automatically there's now sides, which you are saying there shouldn't be sides, correctly so. You are addressing the fact that there are sides, there should not be sides. Therefore, come together and deal with it because there shouldn't be sides. Now I want to establish.
Can I correct something?
Please do.
I didn't say sides.
Yeah, I'm saying sides. And
You are saying it.
I'm using sides as a synonymous to divisions that you agreed with, correct? Is that okay?
Yes.
So the divisions that I call sides. So if you have to divide them now. So we have the National Commission having an issue with the minister having an issue with the National Commissioner. You are saying, please deal with that, sort it out. Then you have the National Commissioner having an issue with General Sibia. Then you have General Mkonazi having an issue with General Sibia. General Sibia also having an issue with General Mkonazi. Would it be correct to say if we had to look at the divisions that you were trying to address, would you say that on the one side, you had General Mkonazi and the National Commissioner. On the other side, you had General Sibia and Minister Mkuno?
No, as I said, just that maybe the semantic. I never said divisions or factions, or I know others said factions, others saying divisions and whatever. I said we identified an issue of communication and some tensions, and we said address this before it went further. So it's not a question of whether it come in the form of factions, divisions, or whatever and whatever. I'm just saying, as a leader, we are leaders, we are executive, and then we are able to see that there's an issue here. You don't necessarily want to get involved, but we want everybody to pull together. So that's why we did that. Not to say the one was with this one, the one was this one. That is why when we even said it, we said the two of them, the minister and the national commissioner, should deal with the matter.
Was those issues that you're talking about dividing them?
It was not necessarily dividing them. It was where I am, to be honest to you. It was that people were not seeing things the same. And then they just heightened them where they were not able to come together and say, but we can still bring this and this one and then have one way up. That, for me, that's what it meant.
So there wasn't one way up.
So that's why I'm saying.
So if there was not one way up, what is the opposite of not having one way? You have multiple ways, divided ways.
No, it's not a divide and rule. It's just you are not going to achieve what you as the organization want to.
Why?
Which was to make sure that our country is safe and to make sure that we protect the sovereignty of our country.
Doc, this will be my last attempt. Why would it not achieve that? What was your concern?
I think I said it. I said they should talk.
Why?
The thing is, because I also work as an official, the executive authority and the accounting officers, the offices, interface. It's not like the other one can work without this other one, because this one is in terms of the policies, the mandates and all. And then the accounting officer must be able, with his team, to implement what this one says. So that interface must always be there. So sometimes the interface is not because there is not necessarily an interface. We differ on how it should be done.
All right, Doc. A very direct question to you. Is Minister Mkunu corrupt?
I'm not aware. I would not make that determination. Maybe it will be part of the report that we'll do as the ad hoc committee.
You working with him, having worked with the minister, these are allegations that we are dealing with. What would your position be if I had to ask you, based on these allegations, is Minister Mkunu corrupt?
I think we need to be fair, honorable member. You have to get all the sides and have all the information and have all the evidence, and then come to a conclusion. So actually, I was saying, Chair, I'm the only woman who's appearing before the committee. I'm not sure if other women are still coming. And yeah, this is a very different environment at all, where you might not find many women in this and then say, Chair, you didn't even acknowledge it. So I'm saying, be fair. Listen to all we are saying. I think there's still others coming. And then get all the evidence and then do the determination.
Yes, Doc, you are one of the sources of that evidence. And hence you represent a witness, you present evidence, and we're interrogating the evidence. And so in an attempt to get to a conclusion, I'm asking the question, I'm probing the question based on the allegation, you see. So you are assisting in me compiling that. But I would take it you saying that you can't say whether he's corrupt or not.
Yes.
Would you say, is the Minister Mkunu, protecting drug cartels?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm waiting for Madlala Commission and the ad hoc commission to really bring that. Because the danger, honorable member, is that anybody can implicate you tomorrow and say, Honorable Sauls had 1 kg of cocaine. And then maybe to the police. And then they just take, you and arrest you without any evidence, without any other thing. And then you went through the integrated justice system to the courts. And I don't think the courts, will sentence you without that evidence. So you must know there will always be misinformations. There will always be,
So as a source that we must interrogate, sorry, Doc, I think my time is almost up, so I just want to finish this one. So I didn't mean any disrespect to interject. So as one of the sources from which we must draw answers to these questions for, is the only reason why I'm asking you. I'll ask everyone else too, you see. So I'm not expecting you to know, but I'm trying to interrogate. Do you have some sort of idea based on your experience that these allegations that are being made of the minister, is it true or not? And you are saying, based on what you have been exposed to, you cannot say that the minister is corrupt. You cannot say that the minister is protecting drug cartels. Is that your same position when I have to ask you, is General Sibia corrupt?
That's what I'm saying. You need to be able to yourself, with the information that you have, the evidence that you have. And I hope, Honorable Sauls, you are not just going to take what is on the social media and everything, and then you come with a decision that will assist us to be able to say what you are saying is true or false.
Yes. So that question is hanging, and it's part of the allegations. And all the witnesses that are sitting in the seat that you are sitting, Doctor, you, I repeat, are the sources available to us from which we can seek to establish whether or not these allegations are true. Therefore, I'm posing it directly to you. And I'm satisfied that what I hear you saying is that you are testifying today that based on your exposure in SAPS, based on what you've seen thus far, you cannot say that the minister is corrupt as it is alleged, General Sibia is corrupt as it is alleged, that there is a protection, an attempt to protect drug cartels by them. You are not in a position to say that that is in fact true.
Yes, Honorable Member, I'm not.
Thank you, Doc.
Much Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Can we take Honorable Shongwe? 15 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Sawubona DM.
Thobela, Honorable Member.
Le jwang ma?
Your time expires at 22:03.
22, 3. I might take less than that. Hey, impiyami no share your pelak dad. DM, you spoke about digitalizing SAPS. In fact, I'm interested in that. I don't know whether it should be a question or a supporting statement from me. Because one, that would create jobs for EU in South Africa. I like that. Number two, it will help SAPS not to lose so much money in courts. Because with the body cameras, there's a lot of money that can be saved. So another thing that is on my mind is that you said you went to China, which is the one that puzzles me, for that equipment. But at that same sentence, you spoke about e-filing. I don't know whether I was wrong or something, digitalizing files and stuff like that. Okay. My question around that is that, would you mind considering SMMEs from South Africa to do those digital filings, including the Z83? Because you see, when people apply for jobs in South Africa, the Z83 takes a lot of time, and sometimes it carries dust there. And with the AI, it can help SAPs and South Africans that it determines on the spot that this person qualifies to apply or not. So I don't know whether it should be a question or not, but I would emphasize that, please, on that note, please, if you may say something about that.
No, you're correct, Honorable Shongwe. I fully agree with you in terms of creation of jobs and in terms of assisting us as the SAPS. The other issue is that we might not have the money now. We are realistic to do the police stations all over, to do the courts all over, do everything all over. But if we can digitalize some of the processes, our people will be able to access them. Firstly, the other example I said is like, if you want, we don't have time. We are busy as we are. Even if you think we are not, we are busy as we are. You will not have time to go and queue, maybe to renew your license or any other thing. So you can be able to do it online, and like Uber, and then it can be Uber to you. You can pay 30 rand and then be able to still do the other job rather than spend it on the queue. And the other one also help our people, especially from the rural areas. You know, in terms of transport, they would have one bus in the morning and one bus in the evening. And I've seen many of them, old people, sleeping at the police station, those bench. And it really breaks your heart to have that kind of situation. And when you ask them, they want to certify, they want this information and that information. And I think if we can make those process very easy, there's no need also to be able for them to travel. Actually, they don't even have that money to travel. And in most cases, they're not helped, and they still have to come again. So I'm definitely agreeing with you, even the Z83 and everything. That's why my topic is saying factors that impede e-government. E-government is all the services of e-government. It's just that I was concentrating on transport and community and safety.
Yeah, the correct word is e-government. We saw that in G20. There was a lot of SMMEs there. All right. You are a very sweet person in person. I've met you a couple of times. Unfortunately, we have to meet in these circumstances. Please forgive me. Who appoints the ministers and who at the deputy ministers and who do they account to?
Thank you, Honorable Member. In terms of, if you can go into my statement, I think in terms of the Constitution 93A, the deputy ministers are appointed by the president, and then the B says, he said they're appointed by the president among members of the National Assembly. And then also B says he can also appoint 2 deputy ministers who are not in there. So it's the president that appoints.
Accountability, who do you account to?
Accountability is Parliament, very clear. And then also in terms of the executive powers that you have been given. So
who
it's
does
both
your
ways.
performance assessment?
The performance assessment under normal circumstances should be done by the president and the minister.
How often?
It will depend, normally quarterly or half yearly or at the end of the year. It will depend.
In the past 12 months, have you done any?
I think you're aware that we never had any delegation, and then how would you do that? But for now, at least I have 2 delegations. I have the delegation on GBVF. I know that I will be assessed on it. I have delegation on the integrated crime and violence prevention strategy. I'll be assessed on it. Thank you.
Your experience tells me that you may have, possibly, you may have come across or came across an issue of ghost salaries. Should I continue, Chair? Or should I? Okay. You may have came across an issue of ghost salaries. So what I want you to explain to me, how do you feel about those ghost salaries? People who earn salaries, behleze emakhaya, bengenzi lutho, bangaziwa. What's your feeling about that one?
No, there's no way in which we should be able to pay people who are not doing their work. And that is why in your system, as you build it, you must be able to, from time to time, make audit of your employees. What we did in Limpopo at one stage, they said everybody is going to get salary by a check. And you must come with the ID personally to come and sign for it. Then that's where we realized that we had more, I think it was more than 2,000 ghosts or whatever. So if you also have digitalized, your employees, the information and others, it will be able to give you the information that you need. Even tell you that Boshielo is going to be 60 in 3 months' time and retire, and say to you then start recruiting, so that as I go out in 3 months, the person must just come in on the 1st, so that we don't have also those gaps. So it's a lot of things that can be done, and I agree with you fully.
If I may ask, what is the difference between your salary, Deputy Minister Matale, and the ghost salaries? What is the difference?
As you know, as a member, is the same. Ours and yours are...
No. Let me just clarify.
Okay.
The ghost salaries, people earn salaries for doing nothing, and your salaries and DP Matale. What's the difference between the two?
I think you were not here when the question was asked, what was my responsibility. I can take you through in terms of my statement.
You just told me now that the president can't do a performance assessment with you because they were not delegated functions, right?
Yes.
Which means now if the president has to assess you, there must be something given to you to do. They cannot assess you on what you decided to do. For example, you went and did the zamazamas, as you say. That was your interaction or intervention, I'm saying. It was not the president. The president cannot assess you on that, right? Do we agree?
You did not understand me.
Okay.
Honorable Member.
Please make me understand.
remember, you also get delegation or assignment. Let me not talk about the delegation. Assignment from the cabinet executive. Remember, when the president appoints the cabinet, he appoints the minister and the deputy ministers, not the ministers and then finish the deputy ministers and say you'll patch yourself what to do. It's very clear what your responsibilities are. So I said in terms of the minister, who would from time to time give us responsibilities to do, and we're doing them, including accounting to our portfolio committees that I've said that we needed to account.
So, Chair, did you notice my hand for a follow-up question? Can I come in?
No, let's allow Honorable Shongwe
I think he wants to respect
to
me,
conclude his time. Just write your questions down yourself, and Honorable Mathys, you'll come in when he's done.
All right, thank you, Chair. So I want to understand, when you say the minister can only assess you on the delegations that given to you, and you say in the past 12 months you have not done that. So does he assess you on the performances that you are, the side jobs that you are given? Are you assessed on those?
Honorable Member, I'm not talking about the side jobs. It says that you assist the minister. So the minister will give a responsibility. And I said, if you have read my statement at a strategic level and support level. So I'm a member of the executive, so the responsibilities that I will be given to will be executive in nature.
So you would say you are earning your salary.
I didn't understand you when you talk about the ghost workers. Yes. Actually, I think I'm underpaid. Thank you.
You under?
Paid.
Okay.
Are you saying you are an underpaid ghost worker?
I understand when you talk about the ghost that you wanted to say I'm a ghost. I can show you. I've shown it in my diary, which I think if you can compare it with yours, you will not even come nearer to it. You know, this is the only October 1.
Is that the salary?
Is the diary?
Or the one that you made for yourself?
No. You were not here when
Okay.
I went through it. I was asked the question, I went through it. I'm saying this notion, and I clarified it when I started, this notion that deputy ministers just earn their salaries and not do anything is not correct. And I went to all length, to be able to do that. I don't know either, Chair, you want me to start again?
No. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
My questions, I think my confusion together with South Africans is this. You said 3 days before the minister was removed, you and TP Matale had to go and deliver a speech.
Budget.
The budget, I meant to say it. Thank you for that. Now, I want to question the fact that, is the president thinking of South Africans in terms where there's a wastage of money? One, you were not delegated functions. Number two, there's 2 ministers who are earning salaries with no functions. An acting minister coming from outside the cabinet, the structure of MPs and stuff like that. And another acting minister, which was Honorable Mantashe, and now the suspended minister. You guys say you took charge and you delivered. So why did the president not save money, according to you? Why did the president not save money by taking one of the 2 of the DPs and appoint them into being a minister if you guys can deliver and can do the function? Doesn't it also look bad on your credibility that we cannot trust you because the president doesn't trust you that you can deliver? He decided, no, I cannot take one of these 2. I'll just go outside the parliament and look outside the parliament for somebody whom I can put there. And I believe that had he not done that, he would have saved money by not appointing a person who was working outside, who didn't need a job, but given that gave that person a space.
I would like to raise a point of order.
Point of order.
Yes, it's a point of order, Chair. Chair, we sat here and we endured Honorable Mathys, and we didn't call point of orders when she was doing exactly what Honorable Shongwe did, and I think to a certain extent maybe Honorable Sauls. It is not fair to the witness that we expect the witness to account for the thoughts of other people. And we cannot expect the witness to be able to respond to things that are outside her purview. And I think that we should not allow that to happen, Honorable Chair. It's
Point of order sustained.
Let me redirect my question, Chair.
Point of order, Honorable Mathys.
Chair, there's a difference between asking the Deputy Minister in her experience to tell us what she thinks about something and asking whether what the other person was thinking. And our questions are on the line on what does she think or what is her interpretation of events. And that's two very different things. So it's not something to endure, Honorable Mayor.
Yeah, that point of order is not sustained, Honorable Nomvalo.
On a point of order, Chair. On a point of order, Chair.
Yeah.
Chair, there's absolutely nothing wrong with putting a proposition to a witness. And that does not preclude a right of a witness to give an answer to her satisfactory. The witness can say, I can't answer this one because it's not within my competency. The witness can say, I agree. The witness can say, I do not agree. So let's not want to be active on how the witnesses must answer to questions and want to prescribe questions for members. Because there is no gun that is put on the witness to say, respond like this. The witness can say, no, I can't respond because I feel that this question must be responded to by the relevant person, either by the minister or by the president. So I'm afraid, Chair, if we're going to be after each other like this, in terms of wanting to ascertain questions which are relevant or not relevant, without making a consideration of how the witnesses respond to a question, I think, Chair, we're going to defeat the whole purpose of this fact-finding process. So let's allow members to ask questions. And if a witness says, no, I can't answer, and the witness will tell you if they need your protection to say, Chair, on this one, I think I cannot answer. And the member is insisting that I must answer, even though I've made an indication that I can't answer. So please protect me.
But I am protecting you, and I'm protecting the guests that we invite here, and I'm protecting the integrity of our process. We have the terms of reference that we have adopted. And furthermore, we must be consistent ourselves as honorable members. It is not kind when a member asks a question and then you expect the witness to say, no, I will not answer to this question. What we do, let's ask the questions that are framed within our terms of reference. If you need an opinion, you can say, what is your opinion on this matter? And I think it helps us to move forward. And I'm going to plead, honorable members, let's move forward and not make this a matter for a point of debate. Honorable Sauls.
No, thank you, Chair. I just wanted to state that my questioning was in line with our terms of reference, for the record. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. No, he says the question that he asked you was within the terms of reference. You are left with 2 minutes.
Even Honorable Shongwe's question is
You are
in
left
line.
with 2 minutes, Honorable Shongwe. No. We when they started, we were at 39. So there was 1 minute there was 1 minute left and 1 minute and seconds. So I credit those seconds to a minute. So you have 2 minutes left. You are expiring at 14:46.
I wish you were not an ANC member because those questions would be 5 minutes now. But I'm joking, Chair, it's fine. No, the reason I'm asking this, Chair, is that, you know, in King in South Africa, Chair, having members that want to lead, benganawo members, yona into esibangela inkinga leyo. Yingakho ngibuza u-deputy minister, that's why I'm asking the deputy minister that, in her own thinking, how does she feel with this fact that, you see, I'm coming from a Davidton, in a place called, there's a Twatwa, there's Barcelona where there's no transformers of electricity and all that. And we need to save cost for those things, Chair. It's important. So now when the president decides to take a person from outside, you being appointed, you have a right to say, hey, President, I think take one of the deputy ministers. I shouldn't ask questions, Chair. Now, I was just clarifying this where I was going because the question will be taken out of context. Yeah, so I want to push that point so that it's clearly understood that Unembeza is important as a leader, Chair, that if you do take accountability and cost-saving measures, wouldn't it have been an opportunity for you to say to the President, President, before you appoint outside, please look inside, let's save money because we're paying 5 salaries for one position. 5. Mantashe, Honorable Mantashe, the 2 of you and acting and the minister. They were paid 5 salaries. We could have saved money there.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Let me correct you, it's 4. Honorable Mantashe is already a Minister of Minerals and so.
Are you saying when he acted, it got nothing?
No. And then, one, remember the president appoint ministers, doesn't ask you whether can you appoint me and not. But also secondly, while deputy ministers, we are members of the executive, but not cabinet members.
The time of the honorable member is up. Honorable Mathys, you wanted to ask a follow-up question. What is your follow-up question?
I'm even scared
Thank you
to
so
ask
much,
now
Honorable
because
Shongwe.
we're not sustaining anything with me, Chair. Just quickly, it was just on clarity, Dr. DM. You've said you now have responsibilities, but with the new acting minister, you've been assigned responsibilities of the GBV and, am I right?
But we're not done.
Okay, so the question here is not about responsibilities, but more about do you have a designated functions now and have you received a letter for it? And can we have a copy of the letter so far on what your designated functions are?
Remember, delegations can also not be in writing. But for now, this is what the minister said I must do. But as we finish others, I think you'll be able to write comprehensive functions in terms of what
so you
I'm
don't
expected
have still
to do.
then. I'm asking for a point of clarity, Chair. Please bear with me. I'm not being difficult.
Okay.
And DM, I'm also not being difficult with you. And I also don't think you must take it personal when we're questioning this thing about deputy ministers. And it's not a reflection on whether you've been working or not working.
Okay.
As the public and as members of parliament, you're supposed to have designated functions. All deputy ministers, not just you. So the bigger question here on what we're trying to deal with is that are our ministers and is our cabinet failing South Africans? We are allocating budgets and then they are not doing their jobs by giving you these designated functions that you're supposed to so you can answer for. So I'm just asking that process. I don't know how it works with the other deputy ministers, whether they get these are your designated functions, because if you are appraised, there needs to be something in writing. So Chair, that's what I'm trying to determine.
That's what I'm saying, not yet in right. We'll be finishing it because we're preparing to come here to.
So the the acting minister's been running around in China instead of also sorting out or
Yes.
wherever he
Okay,
is.
can
instead
we
of
take-
sorting
Yeah,
out.
but also
Thank
to
you.
say other deputy ministers have.
The time for follow-up is over. Can we take Honorable Nomvalo, your follow-up?
Yeah, no, my follow-up is almost I'm being interrupted, Chair. Maybe the EFF is attacking me, Chair. Can I be protected?
You are on the platform, honorable member.
Yeah.
I want to move to Honorable James and
No, Vale, she's
let's-
not
let's
attacking
speak-
you.
let's
We
speak
are going
Chris.
to get
Yeah, no,
Let's-
Chair.
let's speak
My question is almost similar to that of Honorable Mathys. The DM, still I'm under attack, Chair. The DM has said that she will now be assessed because there are functions which have been delegated to her. Now, my follow-up question is, since you said that you were assigned functions which are executive in nature, do you mean that when you say you will now be assessed, do you mean that for the past 12 months, your duties were not assessed?
Honorable Member, I think it has been said in this committee that we don't have the delegations, but we had work that we're doing, and I showed you what I was doing and everything.
Yes.
So it means I would not get a bonus, but I work for people.
Yeah, no, I get that, DM. But do you mean that that work that you have been assigned to has not been assessed up until today?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
thank you so
That's
much.
what I needed.
Honorable Sangweni.
Thank you very much. Deputy Minister, is there
No,
anything?
Chair. No. Point of order, Chair. Sorry, Honorable.
I had a follow-up.
My hand was up first.
Oh, I was noted.
Chair nodded to me. Chair, you're doing the same thing you did in the last meeting.
No, it's fine.
Today, I can't accept it, Chair.
It's okay, Honorable Saul. My apologies. You are right. Your hand was up before Honorable Sangweni. May we start with you?
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Doctor, just for clarity, I understood you to say that even though there was not delegations, but you have at least 2 delegated responsibilities. So you are a deputy minister with at least 2 delegated responsibilities. Correct?
Can I clarify? I'm saying with the current acting minister, the 2, with the current.
Yes, but as we sit here now, we
Yes,
can say you
yes,
are deputy minister
yes.
with formally delegated responsibilities.
Yes,
Two
and
of them.
we are not done. When we finish this process, because we're preparing this, we had to really take you serious and prepare and come and do statement, and others were going to finish the rest. He will come, I think, tomorrow also to say
But
how he's going to
for
do it.
now, it's 2.
Yes, for now it's 2.
Thank you, Honorable Sang.
And I can say them, or
No, it's fine. Nobody asked which are those, but you have said them. It's gender and integrated what? Honorable Sangweni.
My follow-up, Chair. Deputy Minister, are you appointed in terms of the Public Service Act or the Constitution, Section 9 that you indicated?
thank you very much, Honorable. I'm appointed in terms of the constitution of this
Thank
country.
you. Now, DM, in the Constitution or any other law that you know of, is there anything that requires you to have a performance assessment?
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Is there any member who still wants to ask a question before we go to Honorable James? ANC, is there any member who wants to ask a question before we go to Honorable James? MKP, is there any member who wants to ask a follow-up question before we go to Honorable James? Okay.
Yeah. So in the event where, Chair, the follow-up comes after that follow-up question, the last one. Now, in the events where there is a designated performance plan, deputy ministers are assessed, right? It's a normal practice that their performance is assessed. It has been established.
Why?
I'm saying in the event where the delegation of functions has been made on time, their performance is assessed. Is that correct?
Yes.
So it's an established protocol that their performance is assessed from time to time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any other follow-up question? Okay. Can we move to Honorable James? It's now 6 minutes to 3. Your time will expire at 10 minutes past 3.
Thank you so much, Chair. Good afternoon, DM. DM, do you believe your testimony here today added any value to the mandate of this committee?
Good afternoon, Honorable James. Surely, yes, you have. It's just that we are not going through the annexures that are here and all other things. Yeah, I think it has added value.
Do you think your testimony adds value towards you sort of justifying that you are keeping busy, or it adds value towards South Africans actually getting to the bottom of this?
As I explained, Honorable James, unless if you want me to go back and explain what do I do. Yes, I think it adds value. I was with you, Honorable James, at the court there in terms of the GBVF.
Minister, DM, with all due respect, I don't want us to go there today. I want to ask you, are you aware of the fact that Brown Mokhotsi was attacked in his car? That's what the socials are saying this morning. Are you aware of an incident that took place?
I was preparing to come here and I didn't watch TV or social media.
I'm just asking because I'm worried. Remember earlier on we spoke about the big fish and we need to get to the bottom of this. And having you here today, I feel Deputy Minister should have maybe come at the end. We need the likes of Brown Mokhotsi and those people that is distributing drugs into our communities. Do you agree?
I thought in terms of the terms of reference, they point out to you who need to be here and who need to not be here. And I hope, Honorable James, you are not saying because I'm not a small fish, I'm a tadpole.
No, I'm not saying anything. This is actually a very serious matter because you know what? Sitting here, hailing from a community, just this weekend, 9 people were gunned down in Breytenbach. Mothers were shot, assassinated in their heads. The people that are embroiled in this should have been on the scene, assisting our communities and ridding our communities of crime. Minister, you have continuously here today, you have shown us your busy diary and showed us that every day there's something in there. Do you think, would you agree with me that when you don't have a coordinated approach towards a certain goal, you can just be keeping busy doing absolutely nothing and there's no impact for South Africans on the ground? So do you agree with me that keeping busy does not necessarily translate to an impact that will favorably respond to South Africans in terms of the crime patterns unfolding in our communities?
I think it depends what you mean.
I'm saying, Minister,
when you say you are busy,
I'm saying, DM, that when you have a deputy minister, the three of you in my thinking should be working hand in hand, hand in glove towards resolving the crime issues that our country is experiencing. We have you having a full diary. We have the other deputy minister saying that he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have work to do, and we have the minister in cahoots with alleged criminals. Does that move this country forward? That is what South Africans are seeing right now. The disconnect between 3 people that's meant to be working in a coordinated approach.
I can't respond to that, Honorable Member.
All I'm asking, a DM, you a well-learned person. Do you not agree with me as a woman and as a mother, take off your cap as a DM, that we need a coordinated approach and the 3 of you need to be working hand in glove towards putting an end
yes, I agree
to
with
the shootings in the Cape Flats, in Breytenbach, in Eldorado Park,
in Mthatha,
in Tata,
yes,
everywhere else in our country.
absolutely.
And that is not happening.
It's happening.
It is not. How do you say it is happening, DM, when the Deputy Minister last week said that he has no duties? You have come here and you've said that you have a full diary. It is not coordinated. It is not towards a certain outcome. That is what I'm trying to show here. Yes, you are keeping busy, no doubt. But it is not serving South Africans. When you don't have a proper plan, you know that that's where the goalposts are. That's where we all need to work towards. You are ultimately failing South Africans by purely keeping busy.
I can't answer for another one.
You're not answering for another one. I'm just
But
asking
I said
for your
I
opinion.
agree with you that we need to operate in a very coordinated manner to deal with the issue. In particular, I said the safety of our communities and also ensuring the sovereignty of our country. Thank you.
DM, you know what? It's not rocket science that you have no involvement really in the crime that is unfolding within SAPS. That is just might be proven wrong at a later stage, but for where we're at right now. But also, DM, the fact that you have such a big position that carries so much weight, and you see something on social media, and all that worries you is it authentic or is it fake? And you don't probe it, despite feeling uncomfortable, despite having your own opinion. You don't stand up and you say, Minister, are you sure that this is the right step? Are you sure that we should be doing this? And you don't probe, and you just leave it like that.
I think I've answered it. The minister have the executive
I'm
authority.
asking it now, DM. I'm asking it.
You want me to
I need you to answer whether you've answered it before. I am
Yes.
asking. I need certainty and surety here today that you are the right person, that you are fit for this post, that if ever something comes to your attention and you are uncomfortable, you'll raise your voice in the interest of South Africans.
I think I've said it here and gave an example where I have personally stood up and say what need to be said.
What was that when you saw that letter? Because in your testimony, I read that you received it on social media, you saw it, and you were sort of satisfied at the fact that the minister verified that, yes, he had penned that letter, and that's where you left it.
I didn't say I was satisfied necessarily. I was just saying he confirmed that it was not. And in terms of how I felt, I think the SC asked me how I felt, and I said it how I felt.
How did you feel, DM? Because I keep on saying I'm asking the questions now.
Very disappointed.
Disappointed. What did you do with that disappointment? Did it translate to any action, tangible sort of action?
The issue here, Honorable James, is that the letter was already out. I said it here in the statement, and I'm under oath. I'm talking about the statement that I took oath of. I said by that time where I could have, and I said it, I could have made an input and the letter could have been different. But the mere fact that that letter was already out, you know, what was I supposed to do?
No, DM, you cannot just fold your hands and say, what was I supposed to do?
I'm not folding my hands. I'm busy.
It is disappointing to hear that, but I'm going to leave it at that. I seriously don't think that we should have called you at this stage. I don't have any more questions. I'm not going to waste time here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Thapa. Your time expires at 20 minutes past 3.
Thank you, Chairperson. I won't take so much time. Good day, Deputy Minister. A lot of questions have been answered and asked, so I'll be jumping through my questions, so pardon me if it doesn't always come in a uniform way. Deputy Minister, you mentioned that the letter that was circulating was fake. And you said the minister called you to explain that it wasn't fake, and you did try to explain this, and I did hear you. I just want to ask two parts of a question here. Why did you think it was fake? What brought you to that conclusion that it was most probably fake? And I really need to get more clarity on why did the minister think that you thought it was fake? Because he called you and had to clarify that specific issue with you. And I would just try to understand the reasonings that you might have for him phoning you out of the blue after not consulting you to actually give the directive in the first place. Why would he feel it necessary to phone you?
On your first question, you were saying why the letter was
Why
fake.
did you feel it was
Because
fake?
it
What
was
led you
never
to that?
discussed with us, with me as a deputy minister, and involved the department that I'm deputy minister. And, then I thought it was just like all these fake things going on, misinformation things going on and everything. So that's why I thought it cannot. The second one, the reason why, I think the minister was here. He explained to this committee why he had to take that decision. And then I was listening very carefully as you were explaining to him, or probing why did he take such a decision on the 31st and then all others. So why he phoned me out of the blue? I think because of how we work, we will normally consult each other. And I think for sure he thought, why are we not asking about the letter? And then maybe that's why he phoned to say, no, it's not a fake. It's me. I've written that letter.
So just to clarify, Deputy Minister, you're saying it was important enough for him to consult you that it was fake or not fake, but it was not important enough to consult you to actually execute the decision to send out the letter. Is that what you are saying?
I can't say on his behalf, but I'm just saying from me how I felt about it.
No problem. Thank you, Deputy Minister. I do take note of the inputs that you've already given on this matter, and you did express that you were very disappointed. And I have to say this because it catches me. You say in your statement that the gap created a lack of reasonable and adequate consultation, and it gave a opportunity for the controversy to erupt. And then you say, what I would ask, that are you saying Minister Mchunu is directly responsible for the mess we find ourselves in? And I ask this specifically because you must understand, Deputy Minister, this controversy has created a situation where it has brought our portfolios, various portfolios, almost to a snail's pace. And as taxpayers' money is being spent to fund this whole thing. And so that's why I ask you your opinion on this matter. Do you link Minister Mchunu directly to this mess, as what it alludes to in your statement?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. I don't think the letter is a mess, but I think your formation as the ad hoc committee and going through your TOR is because of that letter.
Deputy Minister, you spoke about the police, the minister acting alone, and he departed from all protocols for dealing with structures created by the IMC. You were not sure if the IMC was receiving reports. I think it's in paragraph 33 of your statement, if I'm correct. Who were the IMCs at the point of disbandment? Who was part of the IMC? And if there were none, who was he meant to consult then, in your view?
As I said, before this committee, the former minister, Minister Bekitele, said there was IMC. And then Minister Mchunu came here and said there was no IMC. I said to you, when you serve in the IMC, the president will write you a letter to say you are serving in the IMC because it involves different departments, and then it will give the lead department. So I have not received any letter to serve in the IMC. So that's why I didn't know whether it's there or not.
So you're saying you do not know if there's an IMC in place currently?
No.
So who was he meant to consult if you at this point in time still don't know if there's an IMC in place?
Remember this, the IMC that we're talking about consists of the ministers. Yes. And then they say the PKTT then report to the minister, it's chaired by the Minister of Police, and then they report to the IMC. And I think there's a reason why they don't report to anybody but the IMC, because maybe of the sensitivity of issues they are dealing with.
So there was an IMC in place, Deputy Minister. On the 31st of December, up until that point, was there an IMC in place that the minister
said-
could go to? I'm not hearing you.
I said, I don't know, because if I was a member, I would have been given a letter. So I don't know.
So, Deputy Minister, from December up until now, and we're in November, considering that all of these allegations have been brought to light, it's been televised, it's in the Madlanka Commission, have you not found an opportunity to go find out if an IMC then in fact exists?
I did, and I did not get any satisfactory answer.
I will leave it there, Deputy. You hold two very critical views. The first, you write in your witness statements, I think it's paragraph 40 and 41, on the view both the Minister and the National Commissioner should engage regular consultations and engagements on matters concerning the department. You then go on to a second critical functionary should be also take each other into confidence on matters that have dire impact on the efficiency and effective functioning of the police service. Those are your two parts, and they are very, very strong views, but they read very much like criticism of what didn't happen. Deputy Minister, do you believe, and I ask you in your possible limited knowledge of the matter, that Minister Mchunu actually engaged with the National Commissioner in regular consultations in 2024 from becoming Minister?
As I said, we had a meeting where we suggested it, and then it was going on. Even now, and I even gave an example, when we go to a portfolio committee or a standing committee, the National Commissioner, as the head of the administration, then will get the right head to prepare the report, and we prepare together and go through them. So when we come to the portfolio or the standing committee, all of us are on the same page. So they work together very
So they were consulting. Deputy Minister, then do you know if the Minister and the National Commissioner consulted specifically on the disbandment of the task team? If they were in such consultations, as you say, were you present at any meeting? Did you hear anything? Do you know of anything?
They were consulting each other.
On the PKTT disbandment?
Yes.
So do you stand that he closed the PKTT on his own volition, or do you feel that he had consulted then?
I think the issue, they've consulted each other. I think what surprised all of us, and what you must help us as the committee to get to this, is why then the letter was written on the 31st.
I think that's a reason for my questioning, Deputy Minister, because I'm trying to get to that point, because we hear on one hand nobody was consulted, in the next very next instance you hear somebody was consulted. So we keep getting contradictory answers to very specific questions, and these very specific questions are easy. Was there or was there not consultation? Is there or is there not an IMC in place? So on one hand you say there is, on one hand you say there isn't. On one hand we're saying the minister must consult the IMC, and on the one hand we don't even know if there's one in place. And that makes the whole process difficult if we're trying to find out, and nobody, including the deputy ministers, the previous ministers, can actually come with an answer. Deputy Minister, I think if you're unsure about this consultation process on this PKTT specifically, or that you're not sure about any of those type of consultations, I would say that it's quite a stark contrast to your strong views that you hold, the first critical views that I read to you about the engagements and the efficient and effective functioning of the police service, of those two, I would say, bodies working together, the Minister and the National Commissioner. And I think I will pause there, Chairperson. I wouldn't want to waste time, and I thank you for your answers, Deputy Minister.
And I clarify that because we can't just leave it like that, as if
You're more than welcome.
I said this because I said in terms of the letters, I think this should have happened. My strong views to consult each other and work together.
Okay, thank you so much. We are going to break for 15 minutes. We come back at past. When we come back, it's Honorable Sangoni, Honorable Skosana, Honorable Cameron, and the last is Honorable Mwango, in that order. Thank you so much. 20 minutes each. Thank you.